Tonight, once again, we will be joining our intrepid gang out in the northern end of Kalamshan, where, central to the city of Memnon, you are under the employ of one Pasha Hamid al-Jabbar, a gangster of some repute. You guys have conducted your services with him for quite some time now, and have been steadily building up a racing machine to take part in the Great Race, a massive melding of machines and monsters that are raced across the sandy dunes of all of Kalamshan in a giant ring race, running the circumference, the whole shore, and cutting across where whomever is sponsoring the race deems fit. Presently, you guys have brewed a whole lot of fuel, built yourselves a race platform, and conducted yourselves politically within the race scape and the city's many powers at this point are quite aware of you guys as things have gone. Sean, my man, why don't you take us through what happened last episode on Black Thumb?
Sure. So after getting our butts completely kicked over to the Draygors, the crew is on the bus. Laz is driving in a stupor from the spell that was cast on him. Everybody else is strewn about the bus in various forms of disarray and beat up. We pull back into the compound. I drop everybody off, and Laz turns the bus around to try and go pick up Barry because he doesn't know where he is, aside from Laz seeing him at the shop. He ends up in a Mexican standoff at the gate with the guards who don't want to let him out. In the meantime, the crew is getting called onto the carpet by the Pasha and the Vizier, being told that we are in a bit of trouble. We've been causing a little bit too much anger, bringing down trouble on the name of the house, and that's when the discussion starts to happen that we happen to have a man on the inside. So you cut back outside. They tell Laz that everything is going fine. Someone's going to pick up Barry. Don't worry about it. Send him back in there. We cut to Barry. Barry's making a bunch of fuel. They're doing great, working along with Gento. They find that we have enough fuel to run the race. Now they're working on how to position it throughout the course to make sure that we can pick it up along the way. And that's what's going on there. They make their way back. As they're heading their way back, they do see the Draygors putting on a hell of a show in the streets, trying to show off and intimidate basically all of their race goers, including us most likely. And that's what's going on our end. When Barry does get back, we load up the bus. They're cleaning up the bus, trying to get things ready. And we're going to cut over to the other scene. Mathias is working his way out of the tunnels, trying to figure out what to do. After a good number of hijinks of opening up their fuel barrels repeatedly and dumping things out and searching the rest of the compound, he does manage to find another vehicle that is there, and to be the hero of the moment, he drives the vehicle out triumphantly. However, being a bird, apparently cannot drive very well and crashes and burns, and we no longer have a sixth to our crew. And that's where everything faded out, was the other vehicle bursting into flames while we were preparing things back at the shop.
Good.
Rip.
Oh, that's so quiet on my end.
Try to do a little less specific reading this time.
With regards to how Mathias went out, I would like to say that he drove excellently, but it was too much with all the explosions and disaster. It was just too much with the shaking and the quaking of the tunnel around him, and it was a tragedy, a damned tragedy. With that said, fantastic stuff. Thank you once again, Sean. If I haven't, I don't think I've given you anything for that service for a long time. Take another extra 200 experience for a job well done. You have done incredibly. Summarizing everything, it's half a session's experience or something like that. What is that, like a third of the session's experience? It's experience anyway, damn it. It's free experience at that. Let's go for a different sound here. One of these will do. So, hello. Where was I then? As the smolder and smoke rises up into the sky overhead, a massive plume of it leading from a spot in the distance, we watch as a bunch of kids run around, some boys and girls running across some roadways nearby where Calamshan's massive wall and gate sit open to the day's trades and affairs, comings and goings. The smoldering plume reaching up to heavens and beyond is bared no mind whatsoever by anybody here. The kids, completely oblivious to the doings so far away, laugh and jostle one another as they run towards the gate, where we watch as several carts and animals are making their way into the massive city as Memnon's populace bustles in and around each other. Let's get that turned down a little bit high, sorry about that. And with that, we pan against the scene of the north end here, seeing in the distance the rising, craning serpentine neck and head of a black drake that reaches up towards the sky, dwarfing many of the buildings around it. As the camera flies over the horizon of all the buildings that make up Memnon and zooms in upon this massive black dragon, we see a procession, a parade of several vehicles around it as it's making its way along through the streets. There's only the two vehicles that look like they're geared for any sort of purpose other than to be in a parade. The rest of them, platforms that hold all sorts of entertainment, be they minstrels with a variety of instruments playing some sort of family song to the masses. Another holding a full complement of dancers, men and women, leaping about in all manner of costume and dress, and with various amounts of skin on display for the masses to jeer and throw coins or appreciation towards. Flower petals fill the sky, as well as rice being thrown from balconies and rooftops. People shout from all around, and you can see various individuals walking in and amongst the crowd, selling what look to be tapestries, little miniature tapestries that have the Draygor crest and the crest of the great race upon them. Little banners, pennants, actually, that they're selling to the masses. Further still, you can see, in fact, toys, little cars made out to be in the shape of the two massive vehicles that you see, that you can see trundling along, rolling as they are slowly and steadily chuffing massive plumes of black smoke out the sides of huge chrome pipes writhing off from the undercarriage. The first machine, as you guys are, as the camera pans by, is a massive rotund-looking van. As the camera glides along its massive broad panels in a very, what's the word I'm looking for? In a very up-close, non-revealing manner. Does that make sense? So it's like you see just reflections of the crowd in these huge panels of this massive box-like contraption. But you never get a really big shot of the whole thing. The other one, the other machine, you see a sleek shell, but you also see fat, oversized tires. Massive things that reach easily over and above the actual hull of the machine they carry. The camera then pans against the outstretched wings of the dragon that roars about and then lets itself morph down into a man. Although larger than any other man about, he pretends to be just as one of them, and struts as any man. Regal with flowing black clothes, his entourage of soldiers and entertainment behind him. the Draygor family makes their parade down Main Street in the north end of Memnon. Main Street, if you will. From there, you guys were at that point actually making your way back to the compound, were you not?
We were in the compound, weren't we?
Yeah, we were in the compound. I think most of us were just taking a breather.
Somebody was passing by this parade, though. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think it was
Barry and making his way
Barry.
home.
Sure, it was me.
Yeah, it was you with the fuels making your way back to base.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay. So with that said, the Pasha's men hold steady against your sides as you make your way through the city's streets, coming in towards your home, if you could call it that, the compound, Al-Jabbar's residence. As you continue along the city streets with people on either side of you milling back and forth, conducting their affairs as they typically ought, you recognize several of the faces. You don't know their names necessarily, but you've seen them before. They certainly recognize you. Several of them hawk towards you. It's so hard to hear anything specific for all the crowd's doings about you that their voices, although they make the effort, are barely audible over the din. Still, you manage to hear one of them offering you a rug for cheap. The other one is offering you camels, and the other is offering camel meat. Apparently there's a bargain in any case. As you continue rolling through the crowd, people separating and rejoining as a massive organism might allow something to pass through. You make your way to the other side of the market area, and there sits the compound down a slope and off to the side. The camera pans as you descend down slowly towards it. The cart fading out from the frame down below as the camera lifts up, and we watch as a few birds soar overhead. We can see the compound in the distance easily enough. And the camera cuts and shows the surface of a table. And across the table sits the Pasha Al-Jabbar. And as Hamid looks across for a moment, and then simply goes back to holding his face in his hands, we hear a murmuring voice that comes into audibility as his vizier comes standing in next to him. I understand the situation, Pasha. However, this was not the agreement. The Pasha leans back for a moment and leans forward as the camera pans against his face and shows the vizier nearby. And then the camera pans over towards the magistrate's face as he simply says, I cannot allow this to continue. If this is to be, then this will be such a waste of investment. He looks over towards his charge, a regally dressed young tiefling male, whom he gestures towards and says, what is to be the lot in life, huh? I am to be saddled with this, I am to be dealing with that. But I tell you this, perhaps we can both benefit. I have an opportunity. If you want to continue this, then I will give you one of mine to go with the other. Perhaps two of my people will help to soften things within your organization. At which point the camera pans against Mo's face as you look towards... sorry, I totally just forgot his name here. Pardon me a moment. It is Ibn Iliad. So Ali, the magistrate here, you work for him, or rather, he's your charge ever since things happened. But the point being is that you've been in his charge for the last couple of years. And recently you've just come back from being abroad. That is to say, sent away on adventures because he doesn't want to deal with you. And now you're back from outer space. And he just wants to deal with that in the quickest way possible. And that is to say that as you look towards him, he says, "You will assist in this. You will be a part of Pasha Hamid Al-Jabbar's organization until otherwise."
I smile and nod very fast.
"Perhaps this will assist things. In the meantime, I will send my vizier about." To which Alahad, Hamid's vizier, sharply looks up and says, "What is this? Do you speak?" The magistrate simply says, "You cannot expect me to allow this to continue any further. This has been terrible, and the investment of this sort has cost me." Hamid simply looks over towards Mansour, his vizier, and says, "Mansour, let it go." To which the vizier simply looks down at him and then looks over towards the magistrate, gives a shake of his head disapprovingly, and turns away. "So be it," he simply says. As the Pasha looks you up and down, Mo, he says, "Something tells me you will fit right in. Best go introduce yourself. Mansour, Mansour looks you up and down for a moment, the vizier raising an eyebrow, and then simply shrugs his shoulders and walks forward. "Very good. No time like now, huh? Come." The camera pans against you guys as Mansour, the vizier, heads out towards the doorway, heading down the stairs as he disappears from view. You follow in with him?
Yep.
It's a moment later, you find yourself in the shop. As you're looking about, Mansour looks around looking for whomever's there. The question is, where is everybody?
I'm shooting targets, considering I can't seem to hit anything the last couple of sessions.
Fair enough. All right. So I mean, you'll be there training. That's cool. Barium's gonna be entering in like 3, 2, 1. But what's Orion doing?
What time of day is it? Like
This is the next midday. So
Okay, so
around
we'll be
noon,
afternoon.
early midday.
Okay. I will be out in the. I'll be out in the shop, working with Barry and the crew there, making sure that my wings are like solid. So if I go for a glide, I'm okay, and that my winch cord isn't going to break on me. Just inspecting everything meticulously, making sure that it's good to go.
Okay, very good. Throw me investigation.
I got an 8.
Everything looks great.
That's great. That's great.
One of the do you want to like ask for one of the workers to help you out with it?
Yeah. I'll look to the nearest, smartest looking one.
He says it looks great.
All right. We'll just I don't know. Can I spend like the next several hours like double checking it?
Just getting really anxious and anal retentive. Like putting the rope on, taking the cable off. It's not good. It'll never be good. I'm gonna die on this thing.
Used to be glorious.
I'm gonna say if you make too many checks, I'm gonna give you disadvantage on the actual
okay.
deed.
No,
I kid. But where are we in this? Yeah, so you're gonna check shit over, and it looked good. And the worker fellow, he looked it over, and it looked good. It all looked good.
Do we know also if our bird friend do we know that he blew up and died? Do we know that yet?
You know nothing.
No, nothing.
You
Okay,
know
all right.
nothing.
I'll just go about my business then, and yeah.
No one's heard from him. It's been, I want to say now, 6 hours.
Okay. It'll cross my mind for a brief moment after I inspect my equipment, and then I'll go back to what I was doing.
Well, as to say, you guys are filling about 6 hours here. At which point you're free to do as you will, so to speak. Bjorn, what would you be doing during this time?
Well, I wandered down to the kitchen to grab some lunch, and I took some of that with me down to the workshop, and I've since been dinging out my armor, patching it, trying to buff out some of the massive holes, that sort of thing.
That's fair. Right on.
Thanking Valkyr for seeing me through another fight unscathed.
Fair. Right on. And Laz?
Laz is probably just, again, normally being down in the shop, just helping move heavy things. We got barrels coming in, we got plates that need to be probably taken off and banged out and then put back into place. It's
Okay.
Another day in the office.
yeah.
Sounds good. As the camera pans against the scene here, you guys watch as Mansour al-Ahad, the vizier, walks into the shop with a tiefling in tow. What color is your skin, yo?
It's red.
It is red, okay. A red tiefling, male. Go ahead, describe yourself.
I'm pretty young, 12 years old.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I'm 12 years old.
Okay, cool. Moving along.
And then I have this blink look in my eye, and I'm dressing pretty shabbily because I've been out on about. And also,
You're
an
like
orphan home.
homeless?
Yeah.
Okay.
12 years old, just like real life.
Yep. I based it off myself. 'Cause I'm 12 years old.
That's armor class, not age. What are you talking about? Where's age in this fucking thing?
It's normally in description.
They age about the same as a human.
They what now?
You're saying about their age?
Yeah.
They said they age about the same rate as a human, but they will
No,
live
like
longer.
where is? Okay, there it is. There's age. All right. Awesome.
I think they changed some of the menus and stuff. Because I noticed I couldn't look at anybody else's descriptors or anything like on that character.
You
So
couldn't?
I wonder if they made it like private so that you kind of like have to roleplay it, I guess.
Could have been.
Bro, so you mean I can't write 5-page essays in my description?
Bro, I wrote a big ass essay for my Waterdeep character.
Which I've never read. I want you to know.
Damn it!
Love you, but I never read it.
Yeah, I wrote one for Gary too.
In fact, frankly, unless you tell me that it's there, I don't expect that people write them. I expect
Okay.
that if you do write it, you'll let me know. So yeah,
Okay.
I will take a look.
I let you know. There you go.
I will take a look because I didn't know that there was one to read. So cool.
It's not that long, but it's.
No, hey, whatever. I mean, it's a history, right? So, point being, in this campaign, right. Mansour walks in, looks about the place, and with a hello.
Good night, Dad.
Oh, you're taking it? Okay.
I'll just say like Cody looks extra cute today.
Thanks, bro. You're looking pretty cute too.
Thanks.
Oh, you're going to jail, dude. He's 12.
Oh shit! Delete the mod.
Dude, I want Barium to like talk to you about your little flying contraption.
Yeah, bro. Come talk.
Cause I don't think up to this point, I don't think Varian's had a single thing to do with that thing.
No, and he probably should.
Because it was made, and you had like my crew help you, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember what I was doing. Maybe that's when I was out in town. You know,
Yeah, you were
pissed off.
busy. Yeah, you were pissed off actually.
I definitely have to take a look at it because Varian loves that kind of shit.
So, where are we here? Sorry, what was I saying? Right. You guys find yourselves. Excuse me. You guys. I cannot lie. Can I get that louder?
That voice.
Yeah, those are really quiet on my end. Otherwise, as you guys get yourselves situated, sorry, as the Pasha, no, sorry, man, 2 trains leave Chicago. Mansour Al-Ahad walks into the shop, leading the way ahead of Mo, as he heads in, the whole time murmuring about the point of employing a child and how he doesn't understand decisions sometimes. He comes to the door, pushing it open and presenting you to the room. And as you look around, you sight upon the massive chromed battle bus with its huge 6 wheels, its equally huge Goliath nearby it, pulling the panels off it with a scrunch as he rips it from its bolt leaves or whatever the hell, stems. Camera's panning against the scene as we see like Bjorn off in the corner, banging away on one of his pieces of armor, the breastplate, probably banging out dents in it. And finally, we can see like the silhouette of the lizard man out in the yard, firing arrows at targets in the distance. As there's a guy, he's actually running around at the target for you. Occasionally, you hit him in one of his legs, but it's okay. His adventuring career was over long ago. It's like 6 in 1 knee. That said, the camera also pans against the gate as it slowly opens up. We hear the shouting of some of the guards from up on top as they shout down towards someone arriving. The greetings of welcome. And as the door opens up, the cart comes rolling through. Upon it sitting Gento, Morsi, Lavosh, and of course, Barium. Coming in towards the center of the yard, making a quick veer towards where the shop is, the cart pulls around, and your men come trundling out a moment later to start collecting barrels off the back. Gento directs them as Barium, simply sliding off the cart, watches the autonomy take hold as everybody knows their role and marches into effect. Mansour Al-Ahad walks over towards you, gives you a nod. Welcome back, Barium. This is here our fuel, I see.
This is what success looks like, and hard work.
Gento comes along and gives you a clap on the shoulder. Yes, indeed. We have worked hard, huh? Look at what we have produced. Haha. Mansour. They are good. They are very good. So, have we ourselves ready? Is everything prepared? Gento looks around the whole of the workshop for a moment, eyeing up towards the massive battle bus and the Goliath working away on the panels. The camera pans against Barium's face as for a moment in the background we can see Orion having a conversation with one of the workers as he demonstrates how he wants to flap about while he's in the air. Utmost control, the man says. Yeah, utmost control. I understand. As the camera pans against Barium's face, and we see all of that in the background without hearing any of it. It's just like that. It shows the reflection of Mansour al-Ahad in your eyes as he looks towards you and says, "So, to Morrissey's question." He looks over towards the battle bus. Are we ready?
Here's that we are getting close.
Ah, close. How close?
Well, I just got back. You'll have to give me a few moments to look it over.
He gives it
But I trust this crew.
He gives it out of this and puts his hands into his sleeves and steps backwards as Morrissey steps forward and moves in towards the van. As he passes by Laz, he simply says, "Big man, we must get the barrels into the machine, yeah? We got to figure out a place to put all the barrels, I think. Best and optimal method of storage. Otherwise, one impact and we go kaboomska, you know?" At which point, he continues to walk past and he just kind of stands there sighting over the van, waiting for you to double-click him. The camera pans against Mansour as he eyes up the lot of you guys and gestures over towards the young tiefling to the side and says to Barium, "He will be with your crew now. He will be with all of you."
Yes, sir.
This isn't a daycare.
Mansour looks towards you and says, "Correct. You will treat them as you would any other."
What skills does he bring to the table?
I don't know. You will have to ask him. He gives you a clap on the shoulder. "I apologize, but yeah, I would not do this if it were my organization. But it is the will of the Pasha." And he gives you one more clap. And he pulls back and puts his hands in his robe again, giving a nod and a bow. He simply says, "I await your word, Barium. Yalla." And he walks off.
So, what's your name, kid?
Name is Mo. Not
Kid it is.
anything in
Don't touch anything.
Why not?
You see this machine, and not only could you get hurt, well, actually, only you could get hurt. I don't have time to babysit you. I need someone else here. Orion.
Barium! Hey, look! Ah, the sand kraken is now the sky kraken!
What do you think?
Laz is literally just shaking his head as he's carrying these barrels through the door, just like, what the fuck?
Glorious, right? Look at... Look!
Wow, sky crackers.
We were trying to find a way to use me. Now you can use me from the sky. I can drop things. I'm good
Well,
at that.
is the 12-year-old taller than the lunatic with the wings?
Yes.
Substantially.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What did the Pasha put in your tea this morning?
I'm just simply excited to get on the road, my friend. Well, get in the sky, I should say. I can't wait. What do you think? Does it meet your criteria?
Let me look this thing over. I'm curious how this works.
Who's the youngling with you?
I don't know, some kid.
What's your name? What? Who are you?
I'm Mo.
Mo. Like mow my lawn for $5?
Sure. For $10.
Ah,
Some coins.
are you new here? I haven't seen you around.
Of course you have, I just got here.
Oh.
Alright, Mo. This here is Uncle Orion.
Yes.
He's in charge of you.
You can call me Unky.
Uncle?
Yeah.
I'll call you brother Orion.
I suppose it's because I'm in a good mood. You can call me whatever you want. As long as you listen and, clean up after yourself and do your chores, it'll be good.
Chores?
Yes.
No.
Someone your age can be grounded in an instant. Don't think you run this place, young man.
I walk away. Losing interest. Immediately after hearing chores.
As you walk away, you come in towards a large human figure beating away on panels of armor. He's got a couple in a pile to his left and a couple in a pile to his right. And off to the left, you can see a slagged pile of steel that looks like it was once maybe a horse.
I have the composure to say the word knight. I wonder why I said that though.
All right. So you look at Bjorn and say knight.
Yep.
Devil spawn. I'll be watching you.
I'll be watching you too.
You have a tail? You do have a tail? Yeah? No?
Yeah, I have a tail.
Okay. Does it twitch incessantly, or is it very steady? There is no in between.
Flies around everywhere, like
Okay.
a dog.
Like a very excited dog. Okay.
Yep.
Are you prone to doing that thing where like a dog is standing next to you and it's just like whap 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 whap, where the tail's just hitting you constantly?
Mm-hmm.
Could hurt after a while.
I feel like it would knock things over in the car.
All right, cool. I'm down with this. So, as Mansoor heads out, the camera pans against you guys as you guys exchange as such, and the boy walks off towards Bjorn, where we see you guys say a few kind words back and forth. From there, it's Oren, you've checked over your winch and everything. You're pretty confident it's as good as it's gonna be. Barium, you get the report from the men that parts and whatnot are mostly, if not all in. I don't think there's anything outstanding that you guys are even waiting on. Correct me if
I
I'm
wanted
wrong.
to check over his, little flight suit. Barium hasn't actually had a chance to look at it with everything going on.
Okay, throw me an investigation check.
Rolled a 17.
Good stuff. You look it over and it looks like everything's fine, as fine as this ludicrous idea can be. But for all intents and purposes, it's as strong as it needs to be. The cord is taut. The pulley mechanism seems like it's well greased. All things considered, it's 100%. Right, I was going to say your men say that they finished extending the platform, that the unit's ready to go, that the engine's wired in, pipes are all secured and double checked, and the interior is as much of an interior as you designed for it.
Is there a hot tub in there?
There is actually jacuzzi, triple jet, just like you wanted.
Nice.
So, point being, though,
There's like a hole in the floor for the shitter that you designed that.
Oh, speaking of thinking about setting up the vehicle, whatever happened with Bjorn negotiating to go pick up a driver? I remember that was part of.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't mention it, but I know that was going on at some point.
See that or Barium can handle that.
Don't worry, guys. I can drive. I have my driver's license.
fucking as much as I want to make you like baby driver, I think that would be great. Like I really like that idea a lot, actually.
I'll roll a 1 and then I'll crash into the wall.
Yeah, it'd be great, eh? Isn't that so much fun?
And Les dies again somehow.
Yeah, right.
Problem is, if you fail, we all die. So.
So Bjorn, you wanted to go and find a driver?
You said his name was Rico.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And didn't you? I think Bjorn got like a payment of some kind to give to Rico.
Yeah.
Or something. I remember some like detail like that.
I think so.
Sean, you got anything on that?
Where's the Sean notes?
You gotta go find a
Yeah.
street racer.
So the notes that I have on that, I have, where was it? It was, where's the name? Back to the Pasha, have to get everything set up, need to find support vehicle. Orion wants to find a new driver. Vizier has a lead on a driver, a small human man. Miss Lieko, M-I-S-L-A, I mean, my hearing is terrible, so I can understand that. Make an offer to get a driver. And last I have on here is Bjorn was taking coins for negotiation. That was the last I had.
Yeah. Cool. I can't remember the exact amount.
Yeah, I think it was like 30 or 40 gold. It wasn't like a huge amount or anything.
So with that in mind, you're going to be conducting this, probably outsourcing your armor repairs to one of the boys.
Yeah, I might have to hand that off.
That said, if you are handing off your armor to have it repaired while you're conducting business, are you going unarmored?
I suppose I am.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll say that...
just my my shield, my axe, and my faith.
all right, that's fair. Okay, there is a leather cloak that you can take with you to like cover yourself up, or are you going out loud and proud?
Loud and proud would be my style.
Okay. That said,
I got some half plate you can borrow, but it's gonna look like my kid wearing my shirt.
My
You
faith
head
will
out.
see me through.
you head out into the dusty sands of the streets of Memnon. Here in the central area, the back alley central areas where the Pasha's compound resides, amidst all the warehouses and the stockyard over there. As you make your way through the city streets, more or less uneventfully, the odd food vendor or hawker of random goods throwing clothing or knickknacks at you in some fashion. Deals to be had everywhere, once again. It's a moment later that you find yourself at a familiar place. The Witch's Tit once again. Wait, was there a location already in mind for this guy? I don't know a lot of details
I
here.
don't think so.
Yeah, no. I thought I had more
Yeah,
on
so-
this guy.
So I probably would have gone to Doc's task after him. I don't think we were given a place to meet.
So that said, didn't this guy actually? I feel like, alright, sorry. There's a brief montage of you talking to Mansoor, and he'll literally just say, that he's organized for you to meet up with this fellow at the Witch's Tit.
Perfect.
And with that said, arriving upon the place, the ship's ass end sticking out as the bay window, as it always has. You head into the place, find the bartender working there, as he always has. Big old half-orc fellow. Anyway, Lojimo gives you the nod as you head inside, and the place has got a brisk sort of business going on. I'm assuming you approach the bartender and ask questions? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
He greets you.
Hi, I'm here to meet a driver.
He gives a nod at this and a grunt of understanding. Okay. What do you need? He looks around for a moment.
I don't suppose you know who he is.
He gives a nod and a shake of his head. No. Nobody come here saying they are driver looking for anyone. But you said. What'd I get you? He gestures towards the wall and grabs a wooden cup ready to pour something for you.
Well, mead, of course. And what's cooking today?
It's a brief moment later that you've put in an order for today's meat stew. And he serves up a mug of mead. And before the mead has reached your lips, you sense movement to your left to see a indeed diminutive figure crawl up onto the stool next to you and flag down towards the half-orc. He looks over towards you and gives a curt nod with a smirk smile. He's got somewhat of a rat's features upon his face. That is to say, his eyebrows and everything are very pointed down. He's got a very stout and spindly snout, if you will. And he's very human for all intents and purposes, but his features are very robust.
How do I feel about his body language?
He seems very relaxed. He's got very long limbs for a very small fellow. As the bartender comes rolling along, the fellow leans forward and says, "Hey, can I bother you for some wines? Maybe a red? One of those? Give me a wine. One of those." And he sits back down towards where he puts ass to seat once again, and he looks around and he looks at you, looking at him, and then he looks away towards the bartender. He says, "Hey, do you know anybody who knows of needs of for the race, the driver?" He startled wise looks over towards you suddenly.
Me, of course. I'm Bjorn the Ballista Proof. I work for Pasha Khan, and I'm a little loud off my meat.
That's fair.
We've come and we need a driver to see us through the great race. We've got a great vehicle and a grudge to settle.
The fellow looks at you, looking you up and down for a moment. He gives a nod. Then he says, "Okay. Let's go." At which point the camera pans against you as the bartender comes over and puts a plate down or a bowl down in front of you. Steaming, piping hot, and smelling great.
Yeah, of course, but if I could enjoy my lunch first, we could be on our way afterwards. And
the fellow gives a nod at this.
Another mead.
The fellow gives a nod at this and looks over towards the bartender as the bartender brings the wine over towards him. And a moment later, the fellow actually pulls a sack over to his front and drawstring open, pulls out a couple coins, and puts them down for his drink. The bartender looks over towards you as he expects the payment for beds. He says, 3 silver.
3 silver, of course. And I reach into my own coin purse and toss the 3 coins his way.
With that said, there's a quick montage of you doing the thing. You guys kind of banter back and forth. He's driven in the race quite a few times. He's been in there 7 times. He's never won. For various reasons. He tells you of one time where he was hurtling down through a particular valley. This is in the winter. The hell is it called? All I can think of is addition, but if you will, there's like gonna be not legs, not heats. It's gonna be tournaments, the winter tournaments. Holy crap, eh? The winter tournaments of the race cross the entire Kalashite Desert, and so he ends up going through a lot of valleys. And in one particular one, the tribes there had set up traps to catch vehicles heading through that shortcut, and his vehicle was one of them. He says, it's just dangers like that you really got to watch out for. He says he was very lucky that day. Another team ended up picking him up. So, he trades off that story as you guys carry on. Do you tell him any stories of any sort?
I tell him of the time I spat in the Draygors' face and killed 2 in front of their compound and got away with Mary Scratch, and how our machine is unrivaled next to theirs, and it sounds like through no fault of his, he's had problems in the past in the race, but this year he's gonna win because he's got Valkyr on his side.
Well, if Valkyr is willing to spit in the eye of the Draygors, then at least I'm riding with balls, if nothing else, huh?
Ha! The largest.
That's gonna be good for when we are on the race. He's having a bigger balls. Okay. As he downs the last of his wine and puts the cup down, camera kind of dollies back to show the whole of the bar as you guys make your way out. Crossfade from there. Shows everybody back at the pound. As you guys are finishing out plates, we'll say however long later. It's now late midday as you guys are finishing out these affairs. Barium, what do you set Mo to do? Or what do you try to get Mo to do? I don't know what Mo does, actually, but what do you tell Mo to do before you go to whatever you're doing?
Go out on the street and kick rocks. Like a normal kid.
Sounds good. Well, 12 years old, I mean, shit, man. They're going to be holding down jobs in Memnon. I'm serious. They're going to be, like, digging ditches and shit, maybe, but...
Well, I mean, he obviously had to be through some shit for him to be already 5th level. I mean, he's had some experience in life already.
Yeah, exactly.
Feed a lot of the trees.
Killed some kids, bro. He's killed some kids.
Go back in like Canary Road.
It's like Anakin.
I'm gonna take this moment to refill the beverage.
Hey, give me some too.
Yo, how much does like a 6-year-old get you for experience?
Two.
Oh shit! Holy fuck, this guy's a bird! Cleared the whole orphanage.
It's just my job, man.
It's like that old question, a joke, like how many first graders could you beat up in a fight before you die? Where they're all like rabid.
Oh my god. I've heard that one before. I never could answer though.
It's hard to say.
Probably like 100.
I mean, if they're rabid, it's like they're coming at you with full
Sure,
force.
they're like zombies almost.
If they like gang up on you, I don't know.
Would they be like biting and everything? Like
I would assume.
no rules, just like clawing, biting.
And then there's some extra shit, like are they coming from behind, like all sides,
Yeah.
or just straight in front?
Are you gonna
man,
pull
you
or...
get a nut shot from a grade 1er, you're down. Doesn't matter.
So, you got a 12-year-old level 5 something or other here. That's scary in and of itself. But that aside, what does Mo do? I mean, Barium just tells him to, whatever.
Alright. Well, I'm oblivious to that, and just completely ignore it, and then just follow him around, whatever he's gonna do.
That's fine. What's your intelligence?
8.
Right on. Oh, what's your wisdom?
Wait, no, it's not 8, it's 9.
Okay. What's your wisdom?
It's 13.
Holy shit!
Cool.
You're a wise kid.
Yeah.
I'm a wise guy.
Streets are a hard knock life, man.
It's the hard knock life for us. Right on.
Yeah, but he's rocking charisma at 17.
As you're trundling around the shop, shadowing Mr. Barium, as it were, he's doing all sorts of things around the place. He's working hard on helping with panels. He knows where all the supplies are. He helps people find their tools because sometimes they come up to him asking them where their tools are when they're carrying them on themselves. And it looks like Barium is always having headaches because he's always touching his head. That's what you see while you're walking around with him. Does Barium yell at people if they're repeatedly coming up to him asking them the same question? Or will he how does he do this?
Not really yell, like just a little bit of a voice raise, you know, just kind of stern, but not like an angry yell.
But Mr. Barium's a quiet fellow. Mr. Barium's calm sometimes. You know that you would be angry if you had so many people coming up to you all the time. At least you think you would. Maybe you would. But as time goes over the time that you've been spending the time with them doing the time here in the shop, he does a lot of different tasks around the place. Like I say, helping whomever out with whatever task, all the while reviewing all the stuff that's been done to the battle bus in the interim. That is to say, the interior getting finished out, the cable system. You're checking over the exhaust underneath. You're checking over the suspension system. You're really doing all the pre-flight checks here, and over the course of the whole thing, you're finding defects here and there. I'm sure. Let's roll an investigation and see how well pre-flight goes here. And anybody else like Laz, you can also throw me some pre-flight action. This is in your case a strength check, but in Bjorn's case, it is an investigation.
Did I make it back?
Yeah, by the way, at the end of this, you're going to be making it back. What's Orion been doing during this? Are you helping out with the bus?
Yeah, I'm gonna walk up to I'll see the kid following Barium around, and I'll walk up to the kid. Hey, Mo, could you find me a left-handed hammer? I need one. One of the boys needs to pound out some steel, but he's left-handed. He needs a left-handed hammer. Can you go find one?
I look around. Do I see any of them, like, in sight? Any hammers?
You don't readily... I mean, you see the odd dude carrying a hammer. I don't know, what's your passive perception?
Like any hammer, even if someone else is using it right now.
What now? Sorry?
I'm looking for, like, any hammer at all, even if someone else is using it.
That's fair. What's your passive perception?
11.
That's shit. Alright. So you see the odd dude that's got one on his belt.
Okay.
There's these like two dudes in the area that have a ball peen on their belt.
Then I'll cast Mage Hand and try to grab it.
Sounds good. You do that. Using the force, you grab a hold of the hammer, and like so much baby fucking Yoda, have a hammer.
All right, then I hand it over to Ryan.
It is done.
Did I see him get the hammer? Like, did I witness the spell and all that?
I mean, yeah, literally, he just reaches out and grabs the hammer, but it's like way over there, and
Gotcha.
he like picks it up, and it just flies out towards him.
Okay.
So,
you are a wise kid. I like you. Yes. Very good. Okay. I that was simply a test. That was simply a test. You know, I think you'll fit right in for something. If you die, it's not our fault, but we'll make sure you probably don't die.
Oh boy.
Habib, what did you do with my hammer? What do you mean, what did I do with your hammer? What did you do with my
You
hammer?
may want to give this back to that gentleman over there.
Where is my hammer?
Can I
You took
sneak
my
away?
hammer. I told you, you son of a camel. I will not tolerate you taking my hammer from me. This is no good. Oh, here it is. Oh, thank you. Okay. No, fuck you. You don't take my hammer. Okay, thank you. Thank you. No, I have my hammer. Anyway, so one montage of that sort of shit later. The guy goes back to pounding the plates back onto the stems of bolts situated on the bus. And with that said, you guys watch as the rivet gun comes out again, and Buddy, one after the next, starts riveting off. Sorry, what was your pre-flight roll there, Barium?
Wait, which investigation?
Yeah.
It's 21.
Terrific stuff. Laz, what'd you roll for me on strength?
A straight strength check was terrible. 7. Total of 7.
You have your proficiency on that. So it's 11? No, I'm kidding. It's like 13, I think, at this level.
Oh, I mean, am I rolling athletics or something else, or was that just straight strength plus 3?
Sorry, athletics. For sure,
Oh.
athletics.
Okay.
You're athletically helping build the vehicle.
Then that would be, well, if I'm just keeping the roll that I had before, it would have been 4 plus 6. That would have been 10.
All right. So you do a job. Of all the jobs you've ever done, this was one of them. With that in mind, Orion, you already made your roll earlier. It went as well as it did, and then Barium came to your rescue. Bjorn, you just arrived back in, and Mo, you're learning. But Sorth, the whole time that this is going on, I mean, let's be honest, you're not going to be shooting arrows the whole time. After a while of shooting Bunny in the knee, he finally says, I think I've gone full circle and am an adventurer again. At which point he runs off with the arrows to find his fortune. But they were company arrows, so you still have all your arrows. It's perfectly fine. With that in mind, what are you going to be doing during this time?
I actually want to see if I can go make some jerky. I feel like we're going to be going on a trip for a while and we'll need food. Or at least
That's
I'll
fine.
need food.
There's a montage of you and Kurgit making jerky together. I don't know how that works, but I imagine that's the motion you make, because that would be, I don't know, how you'd make jerky in my mind. As you like push it into jerkiness. You like take meat and you just keep massaging it until it's jerky. That's what it is. So yeah.
I gotta go get it, actually.
That's hilarious.
Perfect timing.
So with that said, yeah, you and Kurgit work together. You guys make some jerky. That's fine. Go ahead and roll me nature.
Nature? Sure. 10.
All right, terrific. It's jerky. I mean, it's meat. You're a lizard. You don't give a shit, really, but it's good. Fucking grade A as far as you're concerned.
Sweet.
That said, yeah, you get yourself shit. How much? D6, I guess. 2 pounds of no, that's no good. You know what? You put together like 20 pounds of jerky. How much do you want to take with you, though?
I kind of want to stick it all into like crude sacks, and then I'm gonna just stick it in the corner somewhere in the battle bus.
Okay, I gotcha. That's cool. That's cool. Done and done. So you're curing and drying this shit over the course of however long with Kurgit. This would normally take like weeks, I feel like.
Yeah, but since like I'm lizardy or whatever, I'm just gonna keep it raw and dripping half the time.
Right. Kurgit surprises you by saying, "No, I've been doing it the whole time." Anyway, so there you go. You guys pack that shit in. There, explain that. Yeah, that's what makes me a great DM.
I like the idea of a rotting bag of meat sitting in the corner of this thing. And someone just be like, what the fuck?
Ultimately, that is as Mad Max can get, I suppose. Right on. You now food for yourself. I don't know how many other people would actually, how many of the other characters would dig on that, down on that, but you know, you have food there. I'm trying to think of anything else you guys would need to take care of, but that all said, you
did any
make
of
your
my
way.
javelins fall off?
Sorry.
Did any of my javelins fall off the bus in the last little bit?
Oh, while he was test driving around.
Test driving and then, running into people.
Did I say that it was sort of fragile or not so great? I cannot.
They were just kind of like loosely pinned up there. They weren't up that great.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that Sorth will spend the time reinforcing those because yes, you did lose some of them, and you'd probably want to have those properly built in.
Yeah.
So with that said, that's what you will be spending your time here with. Bjorn, you arrive back with one little long-limbed man in tow. His name is Rico, and as he comes upon the bus and looks it up and down, he simply just gives a low whistle. And looking at you, gives you a pat on the arm and says, "This?"
Hey, this is what you'll win the race in.
You guys watch as this little long-limbed man walking away from Barium walks in towards the bus, looking it up and down. He runs his hands across the wheel as he reaches up to about halfway the size of it himself. This man's probably about the size of, halfway between a halfling and a elf. A little larger than a dwarf, or maybe he is dwarven size, but he's very slender and long-limbed, like I said. With that in mind, he comes in towards the on-ramp, getting aboard the bus and making his way over towards the control console. Anybody?
I want to follow him in.
You do so.
Ask.
And who are you putting your hands all over our bus?
My apologies. I am your new driver.
What's your name?
My name is Rico.
I'm Barry. I'm the primary designer of this great machine.
Great machine indeed. He walks in towards the control console, completing his descent down the step into like the control well, and runs his hand. What did you end up with? Like levers or a wheel, or what's the steering mechanism on your bus?
I think it's just 2 levers.
Yeah, that's what it was.
He runs his hands up and down the levers handles and situates himself in the seating area, looking out across the windscreen. He just gazes for a moment as he wrenches the levers back and forth, one after the next. I like it. I like it. You designed these. All of these.
That's right.
He
That's right.
pushes the levers forward and dismounts. So the Pasha, your Pasha?
Yes.
He asked me to drive the... What do you call it? He asked me to drive this.
I think Orion was the one that came up with the name for it. I'm not too much for names.
He gives a nod at this. You know, it's bad luck to drive with no name.
Orion came up with one. I don't believe in luck.
He gives a nod at this too and simply says, "Then it is good thing I am driving. For luck, not only do I believe in it, but I keep it upon my side.
What skills do you bring to this table?
I shall show my skills in due course. You do not worry of this, I assure you. When they come to the open road, as long as I have the right people, I know I can win this."
And as Laz walks by with another barrel of fuel, he just kind of chuckles to the side and says, "Too bad it handles like a wet noodle."
As each of the barrels goes kerdunk and kerdunk against the hull of the bus that echoes all around, resonating with the strike of each barrel against its floor panels. He looks over towards you and says, "Does it? Or perhaps you like the finish?" And he just gestures towards the control area as he holds the handles and phallically gives a stroke up and down in a very suggestive manner, staring you alpha style.
think this big guy just didn't know how to drive. Or maybe his heart wasn't in it.
He, a moment later, runs a finger down the one control column and simply says, We will find out sooner or later. Huh? If she has a noodle problem, then we will tune her up. Yeah?
I'll have just entered the vehicle, seen him stroking it. And I'll just kind of look at him and...
No, that's not how... You push that. You didn't stroke them. You pushed. What are you doing?
We're going to give Barry an aneurysm by the end of this conversation. It's going to be fantastic.
Are you trying to get my machine to spray oil?
Is it so prone to springing leaks?
Oh,
So you guys have a moment there, and then it crossfades. Do you guys just go out for a test drive? Do you guys just want to see this guy's skills right away?
For sure.
Okay.
If Barian doesn't know this guy, you don't just like bring some random guy to, put all that hard work to risk.
Makes total sense. And it is with this that there's a quick crossfade as the machine is started up. So, nice, Rick. As we watch the machine fly out the gates, doing a quick 90-degree slide through the dirt into the tight, narrow streets, and a moment later hurtle away down. No, I'm kidding. He spends the first 15 minutes kind of fucking around with the levers, moving the machine back and forth, and muttering to himself every so often in the yard. You watch as he narrowly hits the walls, gives a kind of oops, and then, before throwing it into reverse or forward or whatnot, getting a feel for it. You can see that he's getting a feel for it. After about that 15 minutes, he says, okay, I'm ready. And he takes her out into the street, careful like. Takes it out through the gates, steady down the road, nice and easy. Then he starts to kind of burp the levers every so often, giving it a little rev here and there. Through the city streets, a little bit of dirt flies up here, a little bit of sand kicked up there, a little bit of a scream from a nearby goat or lady or dude, shouting about whatever cloud of dirt or dust or sand or combination of the aforementioned is sprayed upon them, their cart or their building or whatnot, through a window maybe, who's to say. He snickers each time, muttering a sorry to himself as he continues, as they say, steadily rolling through the city streets, every so often burping the throttles and causing the whole of the machine to slip easily around a corner in a fashion that you're not quite sure it should be able to. Over the course of the next maybe 15 minutes, he gets this thing out through the main gates and then says, okay, now we see what she can do. As he blasts it forward, the machine revs high and screams loud as it hurtles forward. And he starts throwing it into these pitched slides as the whole machine suddenly flies to the one side the way it does, such that a lot of you have to make a dexterity save.
Nat 20 plus 7.
Math 20.
19.
Alright, anybody with 16 or better manages to grab one of the holy shit rails.
11.
I'm on the roof, so can I grab like the blister or something?
Yes, that's totally fine. What did you end up rolling?
19.
Okay, fantastic stuff.
I get advantage on my deck save, right?
You know, if you were driving, this wouldn't be an issue.
Miles doesn't know what it's like not to drive.
But I do get a deck save from danger sense, right?
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
12. Fuck.
Since I rolled a 20, can I just like wheel myself and just let myself go into the air? Just like I'm gonna hammer the gas and just.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all good with that. Are you gonna be? You're in the van, right?
Oh, I'm on top. I wanna go for a fly.
Oh, by all means. And you nat 20 this?
I nat 20.
Holy
yeah,
shit!
27.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
I'm just gonna
100%. Yeah, you do that. So you spread your wings and fly like an eagle. So you raise up overhead as this machine barrels away. And the fucked up and coolest thing about this all is you watch that thing slipping back and forth. And it's literally doing this switchback thing where it's switching back and forth as he power slides to and fro. And you guys are in the thing as he's like wrenching the levers one way, then another, as he's like, and then he's just like easing one, pushing forth on the other, and you watch as he suddenly like slams the brake handle on the one and pitches it the other way, and the whole machine flips to the other side and starts blasting through sidelong in the dirt. As he's kind of just driving like this is forward, and he's just driving the whole thing and say, yeah, it drive it good. As a lot of you make that first save, and anybody who didn't make 16 or better is going to take 3 points of bludgeoning damage, getting thrown around the cabin.
After taking that damage, I'm going to try and pull my weight up to my ballista station and clip it onto the harness there.
Alright, as this is happening, another switchback occurs, and everybody makes another deck save. Except for Cody, you're good, you're flying. And I wanted to say that for all the chaos of what you see, you're just steadily floating overhead, loving life.
It's beautiful.
It's
roll two.
calm. It's
Roll two, where are we at?
It smells so fresh.
Lads, let's just get the shit kicked out
We're
of
gonna
us.
get
Speed of
Meanwhile,
Beast
you're-
so concussed.
Sure you don't
Like
want to be a
inside the van is all
my
shaky
God.
cam hell.
I did not make it again. That was an 11 after
Sweet.
bonus.
I got 11 too.
Oh my god. This
Wait,
time,
we're all rolling a deck save again?
yes.
Yeah.
I failed mine.
Yeah, same.
This time it's 7 bludgeoning damage.
Oh,
Shit.
sit down, buckle up.
Yeah.
Damn.
Is it 16 again we gotta hit?
Was it 16 last time?
Yeah, the first time.
I'll make it 14 this time. You guys are
Still failed.
getting used to it.
Yeah, I still failed.
You're getting used to it.
Rico's gonna kill all of us.
No, it's subdual. It's fine. I mean, sort of
Just be
subdual.
knocked out.
Yeah, exactly.
Flies off the roof.
As the switchbacks continue for a moment, you guys get your legs for it or find purchase upon the vehicle in some fashion, such that you are no longer being thrown around, ragdolling yourself to death. The machine cuts through the sand and the dirt like nobody knew it could, until he finally straightens it out ever so smoothly and says, "Okay, I am going to push it. Grab something to hold on to." The machine revs higher and goes faster as he heads it down a hill, pushing the velocity to points that you didn't know this machine was even fucking capable of. The Deestes Valvulis screams as it resonates under the carriage of the machine. The wheels spinning so fast they send dirt everywhere, the thing sledding almost more than it is spinning. As you head down the hills, you see up ahead, anybody who can see out the windscreen, a massive bend coming up. As he says, "Okay, all or nothing," and he pitches it. And gets a 2.
Oh.
fuck.
Man, what the?
DM inspiration.
Damn.
Who hired this fuck?
Yeah,
What the fuck, Bjorn?
He told me great stories. He sounded wildly competent.
That's okay.
You were half of the bag when you started talking to him.
The DM is giving his inspiration. It happens now at the end. I have one too. Anyway, I give him inspiration. He rolls a 19. And like that, pow. The whole of the machine easily and carefully slips to the one side, sliding easily to the left whilst it turns to the right. And as we pan against the whole of all you guys just holding onto the machine, it moves so slowly, all so calmly inside the van. But outside it, you watch as the whole world is hurtling past at speeds that you didn't know were possible. As the whole of the front of the facade of the van is nothing but a streak of brown and gray rock. It opens up suddenly as the hill disappears and the crest ahead of you turns to road. And as the whole of the bus explodes against the surface of the dirt road, flying down this mountain curve, rocks and sand exploding up behind it, a massive trail, just resonating like a huge forest fire's worth of dust pluming up behind it. As the massive battle bus careens forth, he says, "Okay, we go up here now." Everybody can see that as he comes in towards another slope, the whole of the bus full tilt. He turns the bus with an 11 plus bonus as it easily curves around once again, and you guys get a sense of vertigo, and everybody can roll me Constitution. Except for Cody, you're having a great time. But I still need an athletics check as you guys come towards this cliffside mountain trail, as you may fly into the wall, Cody. Okay. So that'll be a 13 or better to avoid flying into the wall and dying.
16.
What about
And dying instantly?
There we go.
I mean, not instantly. Yeah, I mean, you'll have a moment to consider your life choices before expiring.
All right,
I'm
man.
sure.
Athletics
What
check was 15 and then a 22, so I get the advantage on that.
Yeah, I got a 4 for
Oh,
Constitution.
shitty.
Wait, were we rolling Constitution? The music was a little loud.
Yeah, Constitution, brother.
Oh, Constitution.
Okay.
Is that a saving throw?
That is a saving throw.
Got a 4 as well. You all over the interior.
You swoon fucking hard. Yes, you do. You pop such that you got. You don't.
19.
You don't puke super hard. It's more like a verp. You kind of like burble in your throat there. You can swallow it, spit it. That's up to you. I'm not a judge. I just work here. But you swoon and burp a little bit, having a tough time, and you've lost half your movement for dizziness for one turn. If you fail this,
I got a nat 20 and 25.
you're fine, 100%. You hold your position. You've got a holy shit bar. You're fine. Anybody? What did I say? 14 or better? Everybody got that?
Well, I got a 16 on my athletics check, by the way.
Okay, yeah. Like I say. Oh, yeah. No, you're good. Yeah, I said 13 or better in your case.
For athletics, I got 12. It was 13 minus 1.
This is for a Constitution check. It was Constitution
Yeah,
save,
22.
actually.
I had 22 then.
Terrific. You hold your bacon just fine. As the battle bus careens around another corner, sending up, as they say, massive plumes of dirt. As it hurtles up, we watch as Orion up above curves in ever so gracefully as he buckles his wings down and allows himself to dive, getting dragged more than he is flying through the air, best he can. As you veer such that the air currents carry you expertly and ever so quickly, like you are moving fucking fast.
These are speeds I have not experienced
Yeah,
before. Like
you're-
I'm just thinking our face looking like this. What's going on? You know.
You may need
Lips are
a
flapping
you may need a
and-
face mask,
or-
like a proper face mask would be an idea.
That's probably a good idea. Actually.
Just so many bugs in your teeth.
I was gonna say, at least you get your last meal before you die, eh? It's nutritious, so I hear. So anyway, the bus careens up this hill, and it basically just holds one giant U-turn as it careens around, and the gravity of this, the G-force, sheer G-force of the speed and the curvature of the motion it can't be understated. And each of you is getting a feel for just such a thing as you fly up this hill. As anybody can watch ahead, you watch as nothing but slope is ahead of you. The road is over there, and the bus is pointed this way, and he's just holding this thing sidelong the whole way, flying up the hill as fast as the thing can cut through. And as he brings it about up onto the surface of surface desert once again, he pitches it full tilt, bringing it around in a massive top spin that throws everybody around like this thing was a washing machine for a moment before coming into an open skid, coming around one more time like a fucking figure skater, and then finally slowing it down to roughly a tenth of the speed for a nice easy amble home. And as you guys finally realize that you're not moving so fast anymore, you focus in upon him, the adrenaline slowly filtering out of your bloodstream as he looks over towards you all and says, "Good car. Good car." And he looks at you specifically, Laz, and he says, "Little bit wet. Little bit wet."
I was going to say, Les would walk over and clap him on the shoulder. See? Wet noodle.
Wet noodle, yeah.
I spit a little bit of vomit out the window, and I'm like, too long off the sea.
The camera pans sidelong on the machine as it careens off into the distance. It crossfades a moment later to show the bus making its way through the gates of the Pasha's compound once again.
Do we have to crank Orion back in, or can he control himself to come down?
He
just like fall.
He didn't think it through.
He has a rope that's tied to the back that he can pull himself down with. So there's your pulley, right? And then there's just, well, the pulley only goes so far, so you can, you don't have a mechanism. You can just pull yourself down by the pulley.
Some sort of like
remote activation, yeah.
Fishing
You got the grappling hook, just grapple him out of the sky.
I mean, you can just grab the cable and pull him
I
in,
can just pull myself.
or roll the winch and he gets pulled.
That's too
in.
easy.
Just saying, you don't have to. You shoot him down. I mean, really.
We'll use the harpoon.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you have options. That's all I'm saying here. Is you have options. That's all.
I mean,
Just cut the rope.
Use them all. Don't be shy.
He's got to come down eventually. That way. I mean, one way or the other. Shit.
I do have a release on there. I'll have you know. So if shit gets bad, I'll just fly away.
Important note.
Oh shit, they're dying. Okay, see ya. Glide away.
Is that a cliff? Okay.
Glide the way we came. Fuck this.
If they go into the water or something like that,
Or the dragon rolls up. Oh no, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm good. Hey, look, that's a cave.
Yeah.
Did we agree on like the name, Cody? Like what was the final name?
Well, I call it the Kraken's Wrath, but I don't know if that was actually the name.
That'll work.
That was just the name of my pirate ship before it sank, so that's why I brought it up.
Could probably be like a not the exact same name. Can't name two things the same, but
Yeah.
something similar.
Okay.
For the record, this will have been on your race registration.
Okay. The Kraken's Revenge, because the Kraken went down.
That'll work. I
So
like that.
it's like, yeah. All right. If everybody's okay with that, I don't know. Or is it up to Barry because he's the builder?
You came up with a name. I mean, Barium would
Good
agree
with
with
that.
it.
All right.
So, yeah, good.
Kraken's Revenge.
Done and done. All right. Somewhere there's a piece of paper, parchment, that has that registration upon it. And actually, I'll even say that there's like a montage of this parchment getting passed around with that name upon it. And there's a bunch of people looking at it, and a bunch of coins being exchanged hands. As finally, the fucking parchment is set to a stack of them that's passed to a scribe who puts them down into a book, one after the next, a list of names, and amidst them, Kraken's Revenge goes down next to the Black Wind. And Oysters Run. Because, I mean, it is the Great Race. And then the book closes, snaps shut, massive thing that it is, dramatically. Even though the ink would totally still be wet. But for dramatic effect, it's closed and it says upon it, the Great Race roster.
Excellent.
I thought so too. Par excellence. So, with all that in mind, back to, sorry, where did we leave off with you guys?
We just got back to the compound. Or did
After
we
the
get
test drive, right. With that all said, you guys roll back into the compound, disembarking from the machine. Rico approaches Barium and says, if you could please get your people together and perhaps we make a few modifications to the machine for some performance, huh?
I can do that.
So I need you to make an investigation check for the next few hours working with this guy. Who else would like to help Barium with whatever performance tweaks Rico is recommending?
I almost rolled
there to
one.
help.
Oh,
I don't know if I rolled a 19 or 22.
I'm gonna run off to town quickly and grab some rations and
Yeah, you do you. That's cool.
some more explosives if possible, if I can find any.
Oh god.
I'm gonna run as far away from the bus as I can.
Alright, this is fine.
I'll be right next to you.
Laz is there to help, carry and move things and do his part, but he's still stinging a little bit from bashing his head around.
That's fine.
I'll invite
Ben, you
Mo
need
to come
to,
with me actually to town.
Ben, I hope you have another character on deck.
I'm starting to one right now.
That's half his HP right there.
Yeah, I took 7 damage and I'm at 15 now.
Oh shit!
I'm gonna go to the market too with Oran and Mo.
Okay.
In between, can I just like patch myself up with like a band-aid?
Hello, kitty.
I mean, yeah, that's fine. You get a hangnail during that, and you take too much damage and die.
That was good.
But seriously, no. And you guys make your way to the shop, banged up as you are. Oh no, that's not the music. That is not shopping music. That is really not. Let's go with. Okay, come on, something. Give me something, you fucker. Alright, that one. So as we were, Barium, you rolled 22, working with your dudes, and Rico there, that's cool. Laz, you're helping them out, that's great. Sorth and Mo, you're fucking off, and you're headed towards the market, I guess, and you're going there with Orion and Bjorn. Bjorn, you're going to the market too?
Yep.
Okay. So we got Mo, Sorth, Bjorn, and Orion going to market, yes?
Yeah.
Alright, sounds good. Meanwhile, Barry and Laz, you guys are doing the thing. Terrific stuff. The machine is fantastic. As there's a couple tweaks made here and there. It's mostly minor shit, but it's a lot of minor shit. Things like tweaking each of the suspension rods just so. He makes suggestions about where to place the engine, and so your boys actually figure they can lift it up and protect the undercarriage a little bit more. He also makes recommendations to open it up, like the engine bay, blah, blah, blah. The whole of the interior actually gets remodeled quite a bit in just these little ways and opened up and just adjusted just so. That said, you guys also tighten up the steering and whatnot. He makes a couple suggestions there, and you guys managed to get all that done too. So, all in all, the machine is very tuned at this point. Very tuned. And he makes some recommendations about like fuel storage and whatnot, and suggests that maybe you want to have some sort of reserve system that you can swap barrels in and out of. He says that he's seen that on previous platforms. With that said, the camera pans against the Marketeers.
As an aside, as they were heading out, since Sorth was the one that had handed me the extra javelin, can I intimate to him that I could really use a backup great axe and a couple more hand axes, given that we're going to be cruising around with people possibly attacking this, that knowing that we're going to have to be possibly throwing weapons and that kind of thing?
Sure. Yeah.
All
right. So with that said, you, as I said, you guys head off into the market area, and it is, I believe it was like evening-ish at this point, as you guys were wrapping out the day. Most of the merchants are still around, conducting their affairs, as the sun has not really yet begun to set. The place is still bright, Memnon is still active, and people are still bustling about conducting whatever the business of the day might be for them. With you guys coming around the place, question becomes, Sorth, what are you after?
I gotta go to an armory or like a weaponsmith to get those extra things for Laz.
Who else is going to a weaponsmith?
Would I go to a weaponsmith for explosives, like grenades and TNT
No.
and stuff? No, I'd have to find a specialist.
I don't have any money.
I'll look over to Mo. So, Mo, Uncle Orion is here for you. I've got some gold for my last mission. Why are you,
Stop grooming the child. My God, Snack.
What? What? A kid needs something to defend himself. I'm offering, when you take a kid to the toy store, he can go pick out a weapon.
Wow, a weapon?
Yeah. Have you ever used one? Do you have any experience with explosives, perhaps?
I feel like I do, but I don't remember.
Alright, listen. Take this gold that I got off the Draygors, so you can have 50 pieces. Yes. Take it. And go buy yourself something nice, and don't say Uncle Orion didn't give you anything. Alright, that's a lie.
Getting creepier by the moment.
You can call me Unky.
This guy's like a hair shorter than you too, I want to say. Or no, considerably shorter. Sorry. You said he was considerably shorter. In any event.
Oh, yeah, so I'll hand him the 50 gold pieces out of that sack of 200 that I got from Crow.
Okay.
And send him on his way to buy whatever he wants with it, and I'll start looking for someone selling explosives and rations. They don't have to be selling it together, but you know what I mean.
Then I'm gonna follow Sorth to the weapons shop, right?
Sounds good. You close in upon, there's a quartet of smiths that work in a little crisscross of streets, and you happen upon them. As you choose one over the other, and head in. There's one with the blue placard, one with the green placard, one with the red placard, and one with the purple placard. They have different shapes upon it, but the first one you see is a shield. That one over there seems like he has 2 swords. That one over there's got a gauntlet and a sword. And that one there's got an anvil and a hammer.
Go with the 2 swords, probably.
You head into the 2 swords place. There's a guy behind the counter. He welcomes you in. You can see that the shelf behind him, the wall behind him is replete with shelves. And upon the shelves, he's got a variety of different weapons. They're all polished, gleaming, clearly display pieces. He's got a front rack that has a sort of plate a plate in behind it that's etched and looks really nice. And then upon the shelves, he's got a bunch of arrows and daggers. The daggers themselves have caps on the ends to protect the points, and they're all set on rags. There's a heavy crossbow that hangs off a rope from the ceiling next to where you can see the gaunt fellow kind of standing. He's got a bunch of gold out on the counter that he's currently picking up in stacks and putting into a lockbox next to it. That he, as you're walking in, he looks up and then he looks back down and just slowly finishes putting the coins in, closing the lockbox. A moment later, he puts it away. Anyway, the place is really ritzy. It looks like it's got a lot of collector's pieces and shit.
Do I see any axes or anything?
You do, as a matter of fact. He's got one situated on the wall rack just to the left of where you're entering in. Rather robust looking unit, double header. Nice looking battle axe.
I'll walk up to the dude in the front.
He gives you a nod and a hello.
That great axe there. How much?
That unit there, he looks you up and down for a moment, not sure quite what to say. But after a moment, he says, it's yours for a pittance of 50 platinum pieces. Perhaps I let it go for a bit less. It's quite energized, energetic, don't you know? It's yes.
I pull out my 5 gold.
I'm sorry, but that won't do.
What can I get for this?
Do. He looks over the side of the counter and points over to the left of the counter, and over in the far corner, like there's all this nice stuff on the rack in front of the counter, and then over in the corner there's the clearance bin. And he says, maybe you'll find something in there.
I'm gonna go look in this bin.
You do so, and you see that it's got a bunch of different stuff. There's a couple old daggers, an old Alba CD, and a half a sword. It looks like it was a long sword. There's a couple scraps of leather and a couple scraps of chain. You find Alanis Morissette's career. There's just a variety of stuff.
No hand axes or anything like that, though. No,
you actually do find an axe head, and there's quite a few handles.
All right, I'm gonna grab one of each and try to stick them together. See if I can make them fit.
They do, but you don't have all the necessary parts or necessarily the know-how. Maybe you do have a know-how actually, but you don't have the necessary parts to make it stay.
All right, I'm just gonna drop them back in the bucket and leave.
Okay. With an unceremonious clatter and clang, the pieces drop back into the bin.
Hey, didn't I give you a platinum?
Yeah, I spent that all on roof decor on the truck.
Right. Poor choices.
Made sense in my mind, alright?
I was just kidding.
Mine too.
Just...
Perfectly fine.
See, usually I'm here with Kurgit, so he has money.
That is true, actually. You could borrow money from Kurgan.
Oh no, I'm probably. Is he there?
Well, I mean, he's back at the compound, or maybe
Put it
he's
on his tab.
Yeah.
or he's out and about. Yeah, maybe he runs a tab with this guy. You never know. That said, though, sorry, you're gonna what?
I'm gonna walk out of this one. It's clearly too bougie for me.
You back in the street?
I'll go to the purple one next.
Okay, so the one with the fist,
Yeah.
or was that the shield?
I went with the 2 swords first, so
No, yeah, you did, but that was the red one, wasn't it, or was it the blue one?
I have no idea.
Neither do I, really. I'm just fucking with you.
Okay. Fine, I'll go with the gauntlet and the sword one.
All right, cool. You head into that one. You see that it's a regimental looking dude behind the counter. He's got like an old soldier's uniform on. He's got a buzz haircut. The racks here are kind of bare, but what you do see on him is kind of old gear. It's nice looking gear, but it's really old. It looks like it's kept decently enough. Some of it's got dust on it. Some of it really doesn't. Looks like it's here today, gone tomorrow. There's a pair of fellows that are browsing over just yonder, and they've collected together a few good sized blades without handles. They walk over to the counter and they say they'll take those. The fellow says, "Right, I'll see to it that you have these immediately." And he starts counting them off, and finally says, "Right, that'll be 3 gold." To which the folks pay him easily enough, plopping down a couple coins and giving him a thank you. They wrap it up in a fabric. And he says, "You have a great day now." And so they do leave. Camera pans against you. He just looks at you, doesn't say anything.
I feel that. I'm gonna see if there's hand axes and a great axe lying around on any of these shelves.
There is.
Awesome.
There's a hand axe. He doesn't have a great axe kicking around.
All right, I'll grab one of the hand axes.
He's
Is
got
it
a
just
couple
one
of
or two?
He's got a couple of them. He's got
Alright.
he's got 5 of them sitting there.
All right, I'll grab 2 of them because I'm still broke and
That's fine.
take them to the counter.
All right.
You did a lone man? Yeah, I'm right next to you.
Are you? Perfect.
Yeah.
I was actually hoping for someone to come with me so I could, pinch some cash.
Yeah, I pinched some cash from my run, so it's alright.
Perfect. All right, yeah, I'm gonna put the hand axes on the counter. How much for these?
He looks him over for a moment and then looks at you and says, "That'll be 4 gold pieces."
Perfect. I'll give him the 4 gold.
At which
I'll take
point he gives you a quick nod and shoves the blades towards you and puts the 4 gold under the counter.
Awesome. And with that, I take my leave. Actually, Mo, are you buying anything here?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
I am.
I'll still take my leave.
Oh, damn. You leave me with some stinky old man? Alright, bro.
What can I do for you, child? What's with your hair? Wait, what in the God's name is that? After a moment of realization, he simply says, "You're a fucked up looking kid. But what do you need?"
Hello, sir? I need this, and I cast minor illusion. I show him like this sick looking dagger with like a spiral on it.
He is completely taken aback by this, and then looks at you for a moment. He says, "Did I say fucked up? I meant fascinating. Uh-huh. I do not have anything quite like that. That is a gorgeous piece."
Alright. Then I just like, I changed the image and I show him a regular dagger, but with like a extremely serrated edge.
A dagger with just a really serrated edge?
Yeah.
He looks it up and down for a moment and simply shrugs and says, "I think I've seen these before, but I do not have any of them."
That's unfortunate. And then I just walk away and ignore him.
And with that, you leave as well. Camera pans against Bjorn and Orion. You're at the market as well.
I'm looking for some sort of naval supply store.
Okay. And Orion, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for explosives, and I need to get some rations for the trip.
Right. Okay, you can throw me investigation. Bjorn heads towards the shore. Or, actually, you know what? You're in this region because you know that there is, in fact, a warehouse that you can buy direct, but only because the guy knows you worship Valcour. And, what was that investigation check?
It was only a 7.
Ooh. So, yeah. Okay.
Can I get an advantage because I bought in them before and I kind of like...
No, but if somebody wants to inspire you, I'll allow it, you know?
Okay. Does anybody want to inspire me?
Might do that later.
I'm not there.
I'll throw one.
Alright. Somebody's useful, you know? Somebody cares!
I mean, if I can't see you, I can't inspire you.
Bro, you can inspire me. I feel
That's what I thought.
Okay, I got a 10.
I gotta say hello.
Is a 10 gonna get it?
Sorry. Gapping out here hardcore. Oh my god, the senility is real. What were you rolling?
Investigation.
Thank
for, looking for
Finding the
explosives.
specialist here. So with a 10, you checking around the place, looking back and forth between your various known contacts, you find out that you just missed a fellow who had been passing through, but you may be able to track down some of his supplies that he's traded out through the network. With that, you get a couple names, and you can make me another check.
Okay, just investigation again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got a 15.
You trace down these names and find that they are in fact just local merchants, alchemy supply shops that service various industries. One has a bunch of the pyrotechnic stuff purchased for the chef's industry. Another one deals with mining, and so explosives are part of that. And another one still actually deals legitimately in celebration works, and so he causes celebratory explosions after fashion, flares and such. And so the supplies are getting doled out, sold to these various merchants, and that's who you got to approach about them. So you want to buy this shit off these guys?
Yeah, I'll approach the mining supplier.
So your call how you want to do this with persuasion, intimidation, or whatnot.
I'd like to deceive them and make them think that I'm part of the miners' union and that I'm here to pick up.
Are you throwing disguise down on this? Are you throwing disguise down on this?
Yes.
Okay. So you're taking the time to get yourself disguised up. Throw me a quick investigation hereby. Let's see how much of this costume you can actually find.
Okay. Oh fuck. 4.
And your rolls tonight.
I know, they're off.
Sometimes
Started with the 20.
Sometimes hand of God, sometimes not so much.
Try.
Hey? Yeah.
Say try being Laz right now, rolling 4, 4, 4, and that's with bonus.
Maybe I'll I'll let you decide what happens with that 4, but
Long and the short, I mean, you don't find any ready-made bits of the costume, but you manage to still make your disguise check here.
that's deception, right?
Indeedy duty.
Okay, that's 15.
You still manage to put together a convincing outfit, though you lack anything like the sashes or brain fart here, or the tools. With that said, you slip in amongst them, have a meet and greet, and manage to convince them that you are indeed part of the guild and in to check things out. There's a moment where you find yourself in their stock rooms, and they've left you alone to do your task. It's only a moment later that the camera pans to where you were standing and shows the back door open and the sack full of gear gone.
Excellent.
The camera pans against you headed towards the next one, which is which one?
I will go to the. I guess I'll go to the celebration supplier or whatever it was.
Fireworks guy.
Yeah.
Right on. He seems like a nice enough guy. Jovial sort. Tells you about how he's excited to finally get his new business off the ground. You're going to be one of his first customers.
Going to promptly rob him.
Yes. I heard you were opening up. I just have to come here. Me and my wife are having a gender reveal. Can you believe that? This is a new thing. I've never even heard of it.
He excitedly tells you, interrupting you, to state that he is just having his first, and everything is going so perfectly, and he is so looking forward to what life has in store for him and his, and he understands completely. How can he help you?
Congratulations. Yeah. You know, I could really use your most explosive devices. I really want to put on a show. This is going to be it was a miracle, you know. I thought I was infertile. You know, I took a bullet down in the manhood, and you know, never thought I'd get it back, and you know, it worked out. It worked out, and I really want this to go off with a bang.
He gives a nod at the word bang, a sharp nod of understanding, and says he can help. And he brings out his most explosive stuff, and he says he just got this stuff in. It's still in a box, still in a crate. And he opens it up, and inside you can see it's a variety of ingredients set on hay, and there's several jars of fluid that he lifts one up out of very carefully, and he says, "This is very important." He says, "This stuff right here is highly, highly explosive, and mixed properly is exceptionally potent. But it takes proper preparation. Otherwise," he says, "it might just do you in. Be very careful with it. In fact, don't even touch it." He says, "Otherwise it'll kill us all."
Oh, well, that is exactly what I'm looking for. Yes.
And he says, "Yeah, he can absolutely put it together for you."
Yes. How much would this be exactly? You know, things are tight with the baby on the way, so I'm on a tight budget, but I have a budget for this celebration. And,
he gives a nod at this, and he says that he can part with one of the vials unmixed for 10 platinum. Otherwise, if you want a proper show, it's only 5 platinum, and he mixes together a fantastic blend.
Okay. So, unblended, that would be a highly volatile explosion, correct? Like a big boom.
He gives a slow but assuring nod as he simply states that it would be an absolute bang of unbridled proportion.
That definitely sounds like what I'm looking for. And if you were to dilute it down to, you know, a proper substance, what kind of explosion could I expect from that?
He regards this for a moment, and then he simply says, however much that you dilute it, you know, the more you dilute it, the less bang there will be. But as it is, it's enough to bring a building down.
Okay. Well, yes, I want an explosion that is so shocking
that it could bring a building down if there were a building exploding. So whatever that is, I will take that.
He gives a nod at that. Nah, he holds out an expectant hand for payment.
You said 10 platinum, right? Or was it 5?
He raises an eyebrow and says, 20.
20 platinum?
He screws up his face for a moment and begins to put the jar back in the crate.
Listen, sir, I want to do fair business here with you, so if you would mind, just reiterating the price. I'm not trying to wheel and deal you. I just want to know what the price is.
He looks you square in the face and says, it is 20 platinum for jar.
All right. Can I look? I'll start digging through my coin purse. And can I try and distract him by dropping like some coins on the ground and then swiping the thing from the box with sleight of hand? Or like, can I like nudge the box and almost drop it and have him like get distracted?
I'm not adverse to that suggestion. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, I kind of want to accidentally like fumble with my coin purse and knock the box just slightly.
I'm just gonna check before this occurs. Mo, you said you already rolled another character, right?
Do I have to right now?
No, I just meant that he may need to borrow it here in a moment.
We'd be setting a record, I just want to say. But I'm all for it. I mean, a PB is a PB. Right. So... Okay.
Actually, wait. Hang on. Yeah. Okay. I want to, as I'm fumbling around with my coin purse, drop one of the grenades that I have in my tunic on the floor, but not with the pin pulled, to scare the shit out of this guy.
Okay.
And see if I can distract him long enough for me to swipe the potion and run away.
Passive perception of 13. Would it notice and grenade gets dropped?
Break his legs.
The dude's having a baby. I don't want to hurt him.
Doesn't need those to
It's
hold
fine
the
to
trade.
actually ruin him.
He you drop the grenade and he looks towards it. He's got the passive perception for it, but he still reacts best he can. And that is to say, he quickly grabs a hold of. I'm like, would they have something like that? I'm imagining like a rug or something like that. Grabs a rug and pitches it up over onto the explosion to be.
As he's doing this, can I roll sleight of hand and try and swipe one of the potions?
Yeah, that's fine. Go for that.
I got a 12.
All right. For the 13, that's your total?
Yes.
The lid on the box, to your dismay, makes an audible squeak that attracts his attention. As I said a moment ago, he has a 13 passive perception. And peering over towards you, staring at you like a parent catching their kid in the cookie jar, he gives a shake of his head and comes walking in towards you.
I'll quickly stare at him. If you don't let me walk out of here, this place goes boom.
He looks you up and down for a moment and then says, "You would not."
My friend, I've almost died for less. And you, as you told me, have a new baby on the way.
He regards us for a moment, and after thinking about the standoff, thinks to himself, "Okay, I give it to you for half."
I'll place 50 gold on the counter and start walking away.
He scoops it in and gives a heavy audible sigh in the background.
Thank you for your business. Perhaps one day I will return and we can work this out in a more civil manner.
He doesn't say too much after this, as you make
Congratulations, by the way.
There's a montage of you making your way out of the shop and into the next one. I'm assuming the last one.
You know what? I'm happy with where I'm at, so I'm gonna try and connect back with some of the group, or maybe with Bjorn if he's going to get some food or something.
So that said, what was it Bjorn was taking care of?
I was looking for some sort of naval supply shop.
Right, and you found the direct buy warehouse that you knew was in this area.
So I walk in and I say to the warehouse manager that I'm about to undertake a journey, and there's some supplies I still need.
He gives you a clap on the shoulder, like if you remember the way Joker clapped Bob on the shoulders. And he's like, "You're my number one guy." That scene. And he doesn't say that to you. This guy's just like, "Welcome. It is good to see you." And he walks with you, talks with you a moment, and he looks at you and says, and asks you why you're here looking for supplies then. Why are you here looking for supplies?
I heard you had the best. I'm after some navigator's tools and a good length of rope, silk preferably, a couple grappling hooks, and some hardtack.
He gives a nod at this and says that they can help you out. You can pick all that up at book value plus 5%.
Perfect. I was wondering as well, perhaps a rain catcher, some sort of. We're off on a long voyage, and I'm not sure if we'll have enough in our holds for it.
He gives a nod at this, and you can pick up tarp. I think there's a tarp in the equipment. And again, it's book value plus 5%.
Fantastic. I'll pass him the coins and pay what he asked. Thank him for his great service.
Cool. Done and done. With that said, the camera is going to show you guys, well, I don't know who's next, actually. Sorth, you had bought some axes there. You're good. Bjorn's done the thing there. Orion's got a bunch of flambe materials. And Mo has been tagging along. Was there anything you needed to do, Mo?
Do I know where Brian went?
Yeah.
Like, exactly.
Yeah.
Visit the fireworks shop that he was at, because I'm curious as to what he was doing there. And I asked the shopkeeper if he has seen a midget or like a 9-year-old little man walking around.
The shopkeeper simply responds that, "Are you friends with that? Are you friends with that bandit? Are you friends with that charlatan? Are you complicit to that?" He explains what just happened. And he says that I have a baby on the way.
Wow, a baby. Tell me more about it.
He actually says, if you'll excuse me, I'm not feeling well. I think I'm gonna close shop for the day.
Can I know what he bought when he came over here?
The fellow simply scoffs and says he bought some of my materials.
Wow, materials. You're very specific. I like that. And then I look around and I pick up the fanciest looking like the fanciest looking worthless thing in the shop. And I pick it up and ask, how much is this?
The fanciest looking woodless thing.
Worthless.
The fanciest looking worthless thing?
Yep.
Okay, you. He's got blast plates that are effectively like clay ashtrays. And he's got them in a stack. And they're priced at a copper a piece or 3 copper a piece.
Okay. I pick up a bunch of them so that I could all of it would cost 1 gold coin.
Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah.
Then it's like
That's 30
I
of
ask
them.
how much is it, and then I spend on the money.
Okay, you give him a gold piece.
Yep.
And you buy all his blast pads.
Yep.
Okay, that's fine. You do so. Okay. It's literally like this massive stack of fucking clay ashtrays, basically, is what you're picking up.
Oh, can I ask for a bag, or do they charge extra for that?
He says he has a bag. He won't charge for it. He pulls out a large sack, actually, and you get a large sack out of the deal.
Nice. I just pile in all the blast pads in there, like hung it over my shoulder.
Okay.
And say, I'll see your baby next week.
He gives a nod and weakly smiles at this. You make your way out of the shop and into the street, now carrying a large sack of 30 clay ashtrays, blast pads, as they were, for fireworks. It's at this point that the camera pans against you guys, slowly coalescing once again into a group of 4 marketeers. If you've conducted yourself, you've done everything you needed to do.
I'm good.
Right on.
Ready to head back as well.
You guys make your way back towards the compound. As you guys arrive upon, you guys can see the guys that is say Rico, Barium, Laz, and the men hard at work, making all sorts of changes, revisions, and conducting all sorts of affairs to the bus. The battle bus is rocking away. As all the guys are chopping into it or tweaking this, that, the other thing, extending things, shortening things, etc. The camera panning against the montage that is this development is exciting. Lots of sparks and cool visuals in slow motion of guys working away on the steel. Camera crossfades to show the horizon of Memnon as the sun is long gone and the moon is crawling across the sky, and everybody arrives back in upon the compound. Camera crossfades to black, and we'll pick it up next session. Everyone takes 400 experience. And Sean, would you hate what's was least?
I think it was interesting seeing.
Oh, you're muted again.
You did yourself.
I didn't touch my panic for that. No, I think it was interesting to see how Mo was worked in. Trying to figure out what we can do to keep us from getting the crap beat out of us just from our own driving is going to be interesting. So we're not dealing with that on top of everything else in the interim.
Yeah, so Rico's going to be making suggestions of holy shit handles at strategic intervals. So you guys will all have holy shit handles ready to go, no matter where you are on the bus. So that's one of the things.
Can we get magnet boots like Ratchet and Clank?
Maybe in the fullness of time, my man. But yeah, right on. Rick, what'd you like? What'd you hate? What's your purpose, at least?
I really enjoyed the way you introduced Rico. I was curious how that was going to happen. You know, being a completely different character that none of us are controlling, that you're controlling. Yeah, you set it up really well on like how hard he pushed the vehicle. It was like a really good detail because obviously if he wants to drive the thing in a race like this, he's gonna push it to every possible like boundary. He wants to see what it's capable of at its worst and best.
Yeah, I think I could have pushed that even further actually, and had him like break it in some fashion and be like, "We need to work on these." But right on, yeah, I wanted to be a good little montage of like, this is the magic unleashed, and I like that. I like that it got across that way. So right on.
Yeah, and in order to earn Barium's respect, to change the vehicle the way he wanted, that needed to be done.
Right on. Also, seven points of bludgeoning damage from a failed fucking save against his driving. That always helps. Cool. Alex, what'd you like? What'd you hate? What'd you rub as least? Dobransky, I should say. What up?
First time going first. All right. I liked how you introduced the new Tokyo Drift driver. Just going all around the mountain. That was sweet. It was actually really cool to see the battle bus in its full potential. Because looking back at it now, we really haven't even dove that deep into its driving capabilities.
No one's really said I push it as fast as it'll go.
Yeah, that was awesome. I love that. I'm kind of interested to see what would have happened if you would have left it at a 2 when we came around that bend. I would love to see like the alternate version of that. Instead of getting like the reroll, just kind of like the bus, like if it just flew off or something, what would be the consequence?
Yeah, I had ideas actually on this. There was a quick like flip flop in my mind of would I have it go over the edge, or would I have him slam the brakes, or would I have him crash it? You know what I mean? Like cut in too early or something like that. Like there was a couple different ways I could take it, and it wasn't a crit 1, so it was like he fucks up really badly, but it's not. It doesn't have to be like super deadly or anything. Just like shitty. You know what I mean?
Ben didn't have to die this time.
Yeah, so this time it could have been Cody this time. Like really, dunk,
dodging it so far.
Yeah, doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. High risk though. I say that to you, brother. Right on. What else? Anything else?
Yeah, it was actually really cool to see Mo in this, and it's gonna be interesting to see how we play with a. I gotta reword this. How we incorporate a child into this.
Yeah, how do we play with that little boy?
Yeah.
Right.
It's all right.
Oh. But overall, it was a great session.
Cool. Cody, what up? What'd you like? What'd you hate? What's your least?
It was an interesting little session. A lot going on, but like a lot of little things, you know.
Yeah.
I liked. I really liked scamming that shopkeep. That was awesome.
Fair.
I'd have to kill him or something, but I managed to scare him. And I liked the introduction of Mo, trying to figure out how he fits in and like kind of being like like Barry M kind of threw me in there as the uncle. So now I'm thinking like, yeah, I gotta be like a parent, you know, I gotta be an uncle. You need some parenting, and Orion obviously isn't gonna be the greatest parent, so he's like, yeah, go buy a weapon, go buy some explosives, here's some money. Like, yes.
Tell him your uncle sent you. It'll be fine.
Yeah, kind of like
It's like sending kids for smokes in the 80s.
Bad influence, creepy Joe uncle, right? Like,
go buy a nuke, kid. It'll be fine. Tell him your Uncle Joe sent them.
No, I thought it was a good session overall, and I'm really excited to get the race underway now that we have a driver, and we're pretty much set, it seems. So, and I have plans for this flask of mega explosion. You know,
mega explosion.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold it. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
better not fail a roll.
Yeah,
that with some hay.
Oh yeah, that thing's getting packed.
If you fail a roll, the entire like back half of the bus can get blown off.
Yeah, half of you are dead. I'm sorry.
Yes. I just want to go on a limb and say, like, if you were to enlist the help of somebody who knew explosives, or if you knew explosives, you could probably distill and blend that shit down into other materials to make some super heinous explosions.
Okay.
All the same. But you know, I just work here. I don't know shit. I'm not a chemist. I'm just a dungeon master. But right on. Alex, what'd you like? What'd you hate? What's your was released?
I really liked Rico. I thought he was a funny character, and his driving scene was excellent. And I liked how it's really feeling like the calm before the storm. Like we've had a couple slower sessions here to finalize the details before the race kicks off. So it's been fun.
Cool. And with that, Ben, what'd you like? What'd you hate? What was least?
I thought it was very interesting when we're driving the bus. I hit my head and took 7 points of damage, which brought me to half health. So that just put into perspective how much of how easy I am to kill right now. Yeah, like I made my character to be as safe as possible, but I still might die.
Yeah. But here's hoping you don't. But yes, you might. But here's hoping you don't.
We're all hoping for the best.
All hoping for the best. And on that bombshell, it has been my pleasure once again to be your entertainer, Dungeon Master, and of course, with you, the help of my fantastic palette of personalities that is my plethora of players. I bid you adieu, gentlemen. Until next time, may your 20s always land on 20. Oh, yeah.
Have a good night.
Have a good one, guys.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, everyone.
Cheers.
Thanks, Julie. Later, guys.
My pleasure,
Bye,
all.
guys.
See ya.
Bye.
And with that was just me. If you like what you see, I stream every Monday from, I don't know, like 7 or 8 o'clock until whenever we finish. And as I said to them, until next time, may your 20s always